Help me reach 9,000 subscribers. Support the video with a like and leave your thoughts in the comments. I read everyone. Thank you. She looked at me over the rim of a wine glass and said, "We're basically roommates, Daniel. Don't overthink it." I put the towel on the counter, still damp from dishes. Roommates who share a mortgage, a bed, and my last name. That's not a roommate situation. It feels like one, Claire answered, calm like she was discussing weather. Then let's fix it, I told her. You and me. I'll book a long weekend. Just us. No phones after dinner. Hike, water, sleep, talk. You pick the place. She rolled the glass between her fingers. Fine. Book it. If I'd known where it was headed, I would have packed different. Lighter, colder. The next morning, I sent her options from 3 mountain towns. She picked the one with a spa. I booked it. She watched me do it. 2 days later, she texted, "Work exploded. Rain check." I called her. "Rain checks are for baseball, not marriages." "Don't be dramatic," she said, and hung up. I moved the reservation to the following month. That night, she came home late and dumped her purse on the dining table like my effort was background noise. "Claire," I said, leaning on the chair back. "I'm not trying to trap you. I'm trying to get our life back." She shrugged out of her jacket. "Your life is fine. Our life," I corrected. "Same thing." It wasn't. That was the first clear signal. I didn't raise my voice. I changed the rules. I opened my laptop and split the budget. Her card stopped auto-charging to my account. I told her what I was doing while I did it. "We're adults," I said. "No more blur. Mortgage and shared utilities stay. Personal stuff is personal. If we're roommates, we're doing roommate math." She looked up like she'd heard static. "You're actually serious." "I am." "Wow," she said, eyes flat, so masculine. "Respectful," I corrected again. Different word. She smirked. "Sure." The tone told me everything. She'd gotten used to me carrying the weight blindfolded, and she liked the blindfold on me. At work, Nate poked his head into my office. Tall, former Army, plain talker. "You look like you swallowed a tack." "Marriage," I said. He raised an eyebrow. "Want to be more vague?" "She's distant. Treats our house like a hotel." I proposed a reset. She canceled. Nate set a coffee on my desk. "You going to keep offering discounts on your respect, or you changing the price?" "I changed it last night," I said. "Separate expenses. I'm also shifting my schedule. Fewer fires to put out at home means I'm not skipping my Monday workouts to fix her Tuesday problems." "That's a start," he said. "Hold the line in public, not just at home." Message received. The following weekend, Claire floated an invitation at the last minute. Tasha's birthday. "Come with." "Tasha tells everyone the world owes her brunch," I said. "But sure, I'll drive. 1 hour and I'm out." "Got plans." "Plans with who?" "Myself," I said. "We're getting very close lately." She rolled her eyes and went back to her mirror. I stood in the doorway and watched a woman who looked like my wife and moved like a tourist. At Tasha's crowded living room, candles leaned under the AC vent. Music, fake laughter, the usual. Tasha saw me and grinned. "Daniel, you finally let Claire off the leash." "I'm housebroken," I replied. "No leash required." Claire gave me a sideways glance. "Don't mind her. She's had mimosas since noon." Tasha leaned in, loud enough for the circle. "You work too much, Dan. Claire needs fun. When's the last time you took her somewhere decent?" "Booked a trip," I said. She canceled. "Work," Claire cut in, sipping. "I told you." I met Tasha's gaze. She did. I adjusted the budget instead. "What does that even mean?" Tasha laughed. "It means grown-up rules," I said. "Shared bills together, extras separate. Very boring. Your punchline has to work harder now." The people on the couch got quiet in that way crowds do when a new current hits the room. Claire's smile thinned. "That's petty," she said. "It's clarity," I answered. "Petty is gossiping about your husband at your friend's party." Tasha whistled. "Yikes." I checked my watch. "My hour's up. Claire, you riding with me or catching a lift?" She blinked. "Seriously? You're leaving now?" "Plan's been the plan." "I'll stay," she said, and grabbed Tasha's elbow like a lifeline. "Good. Text me if you need the garage door code. Or don't. Hotel guests usually manage." I left. On the way to the door, a guy by the kitchen, beard, ironic hat, murmured to no one, "Somebody's not domesticated." I didn't stop. I didn't look back. The next week was colder. Claire slept in a curl that faced the wall, wore headphones in the kitchen, answered questions like they were spam calls. I kept pace with my rules. Monday workouts. Wednesday dinner with Nate and his wife, Paula. No canceling for plans that never materialized. Saturday morning, I took the truck to the shop and spent 2 hours talking brakes with a mechanic named Luis while Claire posted filtered coffee photos like the latte had paid the mortgage. Sunday night, I tried one more time. Claire, I said from the doorway, we've been defaulting on us. I'm not going to fight you for air. Take the long weekend, next month, the same one I moved. Or be honest that you don't want it. She didn't take off the headphones. Book what you want. I'm not booking smoke. I'm booking a plan. She sighed and pulled one earpiece away. Why are you obsessed with vacations when we can't even have coffee without you giving a speech? Because time together forces truth. She laughed once. You should write slogans for toothpaste. Is there anything you want from me? Stop making everything heavy, she said. Not every dinner is a performance review. Not asking for a performance, I said. I'm asking for a partner. She stared at me like I'd missed a punchline. Then the headphone went back, and I took that as the decision it was. I moved the long weekend reservation again, this time to my name only. I invited Nate to fly fish. He smiled like I'd told him the water ran uphill. 2 days later, Claire texted at 11 p.m., "Don't wait up." I replied, "Didn't plan to. Door will be locked at midnight. Use your code." At 12:40, the garage door woke the dog. She came in on a cloud of perfume that didn't belong to our house and tossed her heels by the stairs. "You locked me out?" she called. "No," I said from the couch. "I locked the house. Adults live here." She stepped into the living room. "Cute. I have a request," I went on. "If you're out late, put it on the shared calendar. That way the dog isn't pacing and I'm not guessing." She planted a hand on her hip. "You need a calendar invite to not worry? I need a pattern that isn't chaos." She exhaled dramatically. "God, you're exhausting." "What part? The part where I want my wife to tell me if she'll be home before sunrise, or the part where I act like my time matters?" She smiled without warmth. "You think you matter more than you do." "Not to you," I said. "I see that now." She grabbed her shoes and went up without another word. The dog looked at me like even she understood the math. That week, I made an appointment. Private professional. I told him I needed clarity, not drama. He nodded like he'd heard it 1,000 times. His name was Marcus. Soft voice, blunt words. "Tell me the dates," he said. I gave him the nights that didn't add up. He wrote them down, asked for a photo, asked for places she liked. I gave him those too. "I'm not looking for fire," I said. "I'm looking for facts." "Facts burn on their own," he told me. "I'll be in touch." 2 days after I hired Marcus, Claire came home early with a bag of groceries, which would have felt like rain in a dry month if I couldn't see the price tags. "I made chili," she said, like we were filming a commercial. "Your favorite." I tasted it and nodded. "Good." She sat across from me and watched. "I've been stressed. I know I've been absent. I'm trying." "I appreciate dinner," I said. "I also appreciate honesty about where we stand." "We stand in our kitchen and eat chili," she said with a small smile. "That's a line," I said. "Not an answer." "Do you have to push every time?" "I have to live here." She reached across, touched my wrist. "You're a good man, Daniel. That and a quarter buys a gumball." "Can you just take the win for the night?" she asked. "No speeches." I took the bowl to the sink. One dinner doesn't erase months of silence. She stood and circled the island, close enough to smell the detergent on her sweater. "What if I plan a date? Friday. Just us. I'll book something." "Deal." "Book it," I said. "I'll show up." She kissed my cheek. "Thank you." We ate in the kind of fragile peace that breaks if you breathe. It was the first illusion. I clocked it and wrote it down in my head under tactic. Friday afternoon, she texted me. "Work is nuts. Rain check." I replied, "Pattern confirmed. Thanks for the clarity." No response. Marcus called me Saturday morning. We met in a diner near the freeway, the sort of place where coffee tastes like an apology. "I'm not here to tell you how to feel," Marcus began, sliding a manila envelope across the table. "I'm here to show you what is." Inside, there were pictures from a club downtown. Claire at a high table, leaning in. A man with a tight haircut buying drinks. Another shot with a different guy, her mouth close to his ear, not touching in ways that break laws. touching in ways that break promises. Several nights. Different dresses. Same indifference. Dates match. Marcus asked. They do. He set a typed sheet down. Names he would not give me unless I pushed. I didn't. Times, places, patterns. He didn't editorialize. He didn't have to. What now? He asked. I'm going to file papers, I said. Then I'm going to stop explaining myself to someone who stopped listening. You want me to keep watching? No. I have what I need. I paid the check. On the way out, Marcus added, most guys go soft here. They want one more conversation that changes nothing. I'm not most guys. Good, he said. Endings go better when the lead knows his last line. On Monday, I visited a quiet office and did what needed to be done. No theater. No threats. Logistics. I told my attorney I wanted clean and fast. Shared house. Mine before marriage. Protective structure already in place. No kids. No drama. He nodded. I signed. We sent the notice. At home, Claire breezed through like invoices didn't come in her name. She dressed for nights that weren't ours. She left a trail of perfume and the smell of someone else's plans. I did not chase. I emptied the closet air of meaning. I slept. I worked. I waited without waiting. On Wednesday, I set my second boundary in public. The company hosted a project kickoff at a steakhouse, the kind of thing where spouses usually come. Claire texted, "What time?" I answered, "No need. This is business. Catch you later." She replied, "Seriously? You're embarrassed to be seen with me?" I wrote, "I'm not scheduling a +1 who treats me like a minus." At the restaurant, Paula asked where Claire was. Nate watched my face while I answered. She had other plans, I said, and let the sentence hang. Good, Paula said, surprising me. You deserve to breathe. We were joined at the bar by a subcontractor I knew well, Manny, with a sense of humor that could cut glass. You look lighter, he observed. I am, I said. I'm done negotiating with someone who doesn't show up to the table. You finally raised the price, he grinned. Paid in full, I answered. Back home, Claire was already dressed to go somewhere else. Silver dress, careless smile. Kickoff go well? She asked, powdering her nose. Fine, I said. No +1. No. She set the compact down like she wanted to stab the counter. Next time don't bother inviting me at all. I didn't, I said. She blinked. What? I didn't invite you. You invited yourself. That's been the pattern. She laughed without humor. You really think you're a prize? I think I'm a man who asks for respect and answers with action when he doesn't get it. Action, she repeated, like trying out a foreign word. Right, I said. It's what adults do. Friday at midnight, she texted again, don't wait up. I moved a suitcase from the garage to the bedroom, laid it open, and made a list. Not petty things. Not toothbrushes. The real items. Documents she would need. The jewelry I'd bought her. Clothes she actually wore. I stacked them with care, not malice. I wasn't punishing. I was preparing. At 2 in the morning, I went to bed. At 4:30, the garage door rattled. The dog sighed in her sleep and decided to stay out of it. Claire clicked on the hallway light and walked into the kitchen like daylight was due to her personally. I was there already. Coffee. I didn't offer. Why are you up? She asked. Early meeting, I said. She opened the fridge, poured water, leaned back on the island like a cat staking territory. Where were you? I asked. She grinned, slow and practiced. Out. With. She tilted her head. Does the name change what happened? I walked in the door, didn't I? Names change the respect, I said. Where? With who? She rolled her eyes so hard I almost heard it. Why are you like this? You got me home safe. Isn't that your thing? My thing, I repeated, was being a partner. Your thing has been treating me like a backup battery. She set the glass down. God, Daniel, what difference does it make where I was and who I was with? I came back. Yes, I said, standing. You came back. Not for long. She blinked. Is that supposed to be a joke? I reached behind me and put a folder on the island. Then I turned my wrist so she could see the packed suitcase by the door. What is this? She asked, opening the folder. Documents, I said. She skimmed the first page, then the second. Her eyes flicked up. You're out of your mind. I'm out of patience. You're overreacting. I'm correcting course. You won't go through with this, she said, even as her voice thinned. The papers are filed, I replied. This is a courtesy copy. I'll make this ugly, she snapped. No, I said. You won't. You think you can just, what, throw me out? Like I'm a guest. You acted like one, I said. I'm treating you like one. There's your luggage. She barked a laugh. You'll crawl back in 2 days. I don't crawl, I said. I build. But not with someone who knocks down my walls for sport. She stared at me, then down at the pages again, like the print might have changed. You're going to feel so stupid. That'll be new for me, I said. Go ahead. She lifted her chin. Fine. Please. I don't need your house or your lectures. Doors open, I answered, and opened it wider. She wheeled the suitcase past me with the air of a queen demoted to tourist. At the threshold, she paused and turned. You'll call first. Not in this lifetime, I said, and closed the door behind her. I didn't watch the driveway. I didn't check my phone. I put her copy of the paperwork in a drawer and went to the gym. By 7, sweat and steel had burned off the tremor in my hands. By 8, I was at my desk and my inbox was a list of problems I know how to solve. A week passed, then 2, then a month. In that time, I discovered the house had more light than I'd remembered. Without the constant weather system of her moods, the place felt bigger. I cooked old recipes Nate had given me and learned to like the quiet. I replaced a broken porch step. I fixed the sliding door that had annoyed me for a year. I slept. On a Monday evening, my phone lit up with her name. I let it ring once, then again. On the third, I picked up. I'm not a coward. I'm not a doormat either. Her voice came in ragged. Daniel, can we talk? We are. Can we meet? Please? I made mistakes. We all do. I said neutral. I've been. I don't have to say it, she stammered. My life is awful. I didn't think it would be this hard. Rent, bills, everything's a mess. I can't even keep up with, things I'm used to. I haven't had self-care in weeks. I'm drowning. You don't say, I answered. It's almost like you traded a home for an itinerary. I'm telling you I was wrong, she rushed. I miss us. I miss the house. I miss the dog. I miss how you made everything steady. You miss the benefits, I said. Not the work. That's not fair. It's exactly fair. I thought you were better than this, she said, voice breaking. Laughing while I actually laughed then, not cruelly, just at the blunt truth of it. Let me translate. After a month, your money ran out and you want me to be your safety net again. That about right. Daniel, I've got a better plan, I cut in. No. She went quiet. Then came the heat. You're heartless. I'm clear, I said. There's a difference. You'll be alone, she said, like it was a curse. I'm not afraid of my own company. I swear, you'll regret. I ended the call. She kept calling. I didn't answer. When the surge stopped, I blocked the number and went outside. The porch light had blown. I replaced it and stood there a minute in the new brightness, listening to the crickets that didn't care about my marriage. Nate texted, beer. Tomorrow, I wrote. Tonight I'm good. He replied with a thumbs up and a line. You kept your line. I did. The formalities went fast. Faster than I expected. Paperwork meant to take months moved like it had somewhere to be. Maybe that was luck. Maybe it was the fact that our finances had never been fused the way she liked to pretend. Property was mine from before, and I'd kept it that way, not because I expected anything, but because I run my life like a grown man. When the final envelope came, it read like a grocery receipt, items listed, totals clean. No pieces of me stapled to her future. In the middle time, there were 2 more illusions. She sent a photo of a dinner she'd made for us, if you want to come by and talk, followed by a string of soft words that had never crossed her lips when she held the upper hand. I didn't go. Another time, she dropped a message through a mutual friend, asking if she could stop by to pick up a sweater, and maybe we could take the dog to the park like old times. I left the sweater with the neighbor across the street, Mrs. Porter, retired teacher with a backbone. When Claire came, Mrs. Porter waved from her porch and said, he's busy. It was small, but it mattered. A boundary upheld by a witness. Proud of you, Mrs. Porter told me later, leaning on her rake. Why? I asked. Because you didn't make a show of it. You just changed the locks on your heart, she said, then smirked at her own line. Don't look so shocked. We get cable here too. I'm not shocked, I said. I'm grateful. You'll be fine, she said. Men who can fix a porch step can fix a life. Work got sharper. Without the fog at home, my decisions cut faster. Manny sent me an invite to a Saturday cookout behind his shop. I went. Paula handed me a plate and said, "You look taller." I measured, I told her. "Same height." "Funny," she said. "That's new." "Not new," I replied. "Recovered." We stood in Manny's lot under a string of lights while people told stories that didn't revolve around one person's need to be adored. Halfway through a conversation about carburetors, a woman named Erin asked me, "So what's your story?" "I built houses and learned to live in one," I said. "That's either profound or boring," she smiled. "Probably both." She laughed. It wasn't a test. It was simply a laugh. I noticed how light that felt. I noticed how easy it was to breathe around people who weren't keeping me on trial. The last time Claire tried to break through, she didn't call. She sent a mutual acquaintance to inform me she was truly sorry and ready to make amends if I'd just give her a chance to show she'd matured. I didn't respond. I'd seen her motions, soft, then sweet, then sharp. The playbook bored me. I don't hate her. That would be energy spent. I don't even wish her harm. I let the facts do their work. When someone believes your life is a vending machine, you don't explain the refund policy. You unplug the machine. Months later, if you stood across the street, you'd see a man who wakes up early because he wants to, not because a garage door tells him he's been disrespected again. You'd see my truck clean and the yard honest. You might catch me loading a cooler on a Saturday, dog hopping in the back seat, telling Nate I'll meet him at the trailhead if he actually remembers to bring flies this time. Erin and I sometimes get coffee after Sunday errands. She's not a rebound. She's a person. We talk like adults. If she cancels, she apologizes once and means it. If I'm busy, I say so without selling a story. We keep it simple and polite and grounded. That may not be fireworks. I've had enough fireworks. I prefer electricity that works when you flip the switch. As for Claire, I don't see her. From what filters back through the neighbor channels, life didn't turn into the fairy tale she auditioned for. Expenses stack when someone else isn't leveling the pile. I don't gloat. I also don't donate. You earn your outcomes. I still have the folder Marcus gave me. I don't open it. I don't need reminders to justify my choice. The present justifies it nicely. If you asked me what I regret, I'd tell you this. Only that I didn't believe the early signals faster. The jokes at my expense that were just jokes. The cancellations. The part where I trained her to think my effort was a default setting instead of a gift. I taught that class, then I shut it down. Better late than never. The night I packed her suitcase, I didn't feel like a hero. I felt like a man who read the map finally. There's no medal for it. There is a life. One more thing, because people always ask about the final conversation, like it's a spell worth memorizing. It wasn't magic. It was clarity. She said, "What difference does it make where I was and who I was with?" I came back. I answered, "Yes." "You came back. Not for long." That's it. No shouting. No bargaining. Just a line that closed the door it opened. And then a better door opened a little farther down the road. So I live there now, in the house with working lights, a fixed sliding door, a dog who likes the new routine, and a man who doesn't sell his respect at a discount. The past knocks sometimes. I don't answer. There are no more invitations to parties where I'm the punchline. There are no more rain checks. There's just a quiet kitchen and a coffee mug and a calendar with plans I keep. That's not lonely. That's a good life. And it's mine. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe. I'd love to read your thoughts in the comments.